Welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and coach. This video today may ruffle a little feathers, but I had a coaching call with a beautiful Heal Squad member, and she was like, you need to do a video on this. Like the coaching, when I tell you the coaching session was good today, it was good today. And we were talking about being a lady of leisure versus a lady of labor in your dating. Now, I know that many of us are in recovery, okay? We recovery from that performative sexuality that I talk about, all right? If you're new here, you don't know anything about that, I'm going to connect the video so that you can watch that. That's in my Why Every Woman Should Date Selfishly video, where I talk about being performative in your dating. And this beautiful lady with her beautiful pixie cut, I was so jealous, y'all. I was so jealous. She was talking about basically, I've dated and now I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm providing a lot of labor. Like I want to be a lady of leisure. I want the soft girl life, and many of us want that. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of working with me as it relates to a coach. I'm going to give you all the details, but I really want to talk about the difference between dating as a lady of leisure and a lady of labor. All right. So let me unpack this for you. So who is the lady of labor? Let's start there. This is going to resonate with you, right? You're going to be like, Cynthia, this is what I've been doing my whole entire life. This is how I've been dating. The lady of labor is a woman who is always doing the most to prove she is worthy of love, right? She shows up and she's performative. She's doing tasks. She's providing emotional labor, physical labor. She's doing too much versus just being, okay? She feels responsible for keeping the relationship together. Have you dated a man, or you may have been married to a man, and it was like you were the glue that was holding the relationship together? He did not have to show up. You were doing everything. Maybe you were planning the date nights. You were the leader of the relationship. Decisions that had to be made, you made every decision. You may have been married and you were the married single mom because the relationship was on your shoulders. You read books, listen to podcasts, and you apply all of that for growth, but he isn't doing any work. Because many times when you're a woman of labor, the man that you're dating or the man that you're in a relationship with, he doesn't have to do any work. He doesn't have to show up. All he has to do is be present and reap the benefit of you because you're doing everything. The relationship is you. Remove you, there's no relationship. I love this. And something I asked her, and I want to ask you. I want to ask you, who taught you to show up this way? Who taught you that in a relationship or in your dating, you may not even be in a relationship. Who taught you that in your dating that you had to show up and you had to just be performing and giving everything? Who told you that you had to be cooking and cleaning for this man during the let's say the first 90 days? Who taught you that? Many of us were taught by our woman that this is how a woman shows up in a relationship. And so many men just know that the nature of a woman, that she's going to show up and she's going to begin to do tasks for me. That's why you see a lot of pushback on this soft girl life, because men have been socialized that women are supposed to provide labor at every stage of the relationship. I know y'all saw that TikTok earlier this year where the young man had been talking to this girl on and off for 7 months, and so he invited her over for dinner. They were just off, and they were back on, and he cooked dinner and he wanted her to wash the dishes, and then he got upset with her when she didn't wash the dishes at his home, but he invited her as a guest. He wanted her to show up as a lady of labor, and she basically said, no, boo, I'm a lady of leisure. Okay. Listen, the lady of labor, she is not the CEO of her love life. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put it in here. She is not the CEO of her love life. She's a slave to her love life, because what she is doing, she is giving in order to receive what? She wants to receive validation and affirmation because there's an unhealed space and place in her. The lady of leisure is a whole woman. She knows her worth and her value, and she shows up in her dating very differently. She shows up and she's very honest about who she is. She's honest about how she wants to be taken care of, how she wants to be catered to. But the lady of labor doesn't want to be catered to. She was taught to cater. So she comes in and she's very catering. But after a while, she becomes resentful because the man takes advantage of that, because he's just sitting back and receiving. Now, speaking of the masculine and the feminine, who is supposed to be receiving? Ain't it the feminine that's supposed to be sitting back? Okay, I'm just, okay. Now, something I want you to know, because I don't ever want you to beat yourself up, right? Because this is a space, this is a safe place, and this is a place of healing. I want you to know that the Lady of Labor is a loving woman. She desires love and she wants to give love. She may even be the woman that's like, Cynthia, I have so much love to give, but she doesn't have any boundaries on that love, okay? But somewhere along the way, she was taught that love must be earned through effort, performance, and self-sacrifice. Listen, why are we self-sacrificing? Why are we doing that? Why are you doing that? Right? She's taught that rest is selfish, so she's always giving. That receiving is lazy, so she's in her masculine. And that showing up with softness is not enough. Listen, when I was talking to the beautiful lady today and we were talking about what a lady of leisure gives, it's her softness. She is the soft place for that man to land. And if a man tells you that that's not enough, then that's not your man. Okay. And we also talked about, before I get into who the Lady of Leisure is, we also talked about the type of man in the coaching session that the Lady of Leisure attracts versus the Lady of Labor. Okay. Now, the Lady of Labor receives a man who, or attracts a man and also accepts a man who just wants to receive. Okay. The Lady of Leisure, she attracts a man who has experiences. All right. He may be well-traveled, well-read, or he has connections to others that even if he hasn't experienced it, he has knowledge of it. Right. The man who's attracted to the Lady of Leisure doesn't mind her being a house manager. He doesn't mind her outsourcing the labor. And he knows that she is not a woman who's going to get her hands dirty. Now the other man, he doesn't understand why a woman would outsource labor. He feels like a woman should be cooking, should be cleaning, and should be performing for him. He wants a woman that's going to work hard. But he doesn't see that a woman should be a soft place for him to come and lay his head on her chest, and that she is going to be his confidant, and she's going to be the one who's going to hold his secrets, and she's also going to be the one that gives him. Somebody triggered the alarm. And I am so sorry about that, but I was not going to record this video all over. So I am so sorry about that. It's part of living in an apartment. These things happen. So hopefully it doesn't go off again, because I want to put this video out today and I'm going to have to go outside and tussle. All right. But let's talk about what a Lady of Leisure is and the difference between a Lady of Labor and leisure. Let me say this first. We as women are often taught to be sacrificial. I want you to make a vow to yourself that even in a relationship that you will not give all that you have. Now, hear me out, because this feels counterintuitive. We as women are praised for being very good mothers and a very good wife, but we aren't praised for being good to ourselves. I want you to engage in self-love even when you're in a relationship, when you're a mom, when you're married, whatever. Save and reserve something for you. So often many women lose themselves in their relationship and lose themselves in motherhood, but you are an individual. I saw a lady on TikTok say that her father told her, don't forget your first name. Because sometimes we're so focused on trying to get that last name that we lose ourselves. I want you to have something for reserve for yourself. And the Lady of Leisure does that. So let's hop right in. The Lady of Leisure is not lazy, entitled, or unbothered. She's intentional. She knows how to receive love without guilt. She understands that she was built for love, she was created for love, and she is to receive it. She understands that she doesn't have to perform for love. She understands that she's worthy. She has high self-esteem and high regard for herself. And the men that she dates, they see her that way too. They want to be around her because of her personality, because of her essence, not for her to perform, right? These men want to take care of her. They see her and they want to take care of her. When I was in the coaching session, we were talking and I talked about the example of, especially because I serve mainly Christian women. You don't have to be a Christian woman to work with me in coaching. Let me put that out there. But that's mainly who schedules coaching with me. And some of y'all not going to like this, but I'm going to say it. we were talking, and I said, have you noticed that women in the world, that they, especially if you look at like Lori Harvey or some of women like her of her caliber, that there are men who want to take care of her. They show up wanting to take care of her. Even her mom is taken care of. She's a kept woman. I said, but in the church, we're taught about struggling, and marriage is going, it's not for your happiness, but it's for it to make you holy. But the Bible says he gave us an abundant life. So why are Christian women being fed this, we gonna struggle in our relationship, but meanwhile, women in the world are being taken care of. Women in the world are being catered to. Their men are going over and beyond to take care of them, and they aren't lifting a finger. Lady of leisure. Okay? So she receives love without guilt. She allows herself to be courted, pursued, and cared for. Courted, pursued, and cared for. She allows a man to come in her life and take care of her, to take things off of her plate, to make her life easy. Let's just how would it be for a man to come in your life and make your life easy? He wants to take care of you. He's pursuing you to make your life easy, to take things off your plate. He believes in servant leadership and not just being served. She moves in feminine energy, resting, radiating, and receiving. She believes she's worthy of love simply, hear me, simply because she exists. Simply because she exists. She doesn't have to perform for love. She knows because she was created that she is to receive it because she exists. Oh! Let me do like this. I was gonna clap. Let me do like this. She understands that being loved well doesn't require her labor. It requires her alignment. We've been talking a lot about that. We've been talking about alignment. She's here not to raise a man, chase potential, or lead a project. She's in peace. She is the peace, forgive me, the pleasure and the prize. Now, I know sometimes people talk about women are not the prize. I saw a video. Listen, if God created a woman, he said, a man that finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor. So while you may not be the prize, you definitely are the good thing. He can argue with his mammy about that. You are the good thing and you deserve good things. The Bible even say no good thing will he withhold from them. Okay, that's what's in the book. So even in your relationship, there should be abundance. Will you have hard times and will you have to, get in and get, yeah. But let's be for real. This every day you are just giving and giving and giving and he's receiving. You are in your masculine and he's in his feminine. You were not created for that. You were created to be a woman of leisure. You were created to have a soft life. And that's why I told you when I talked about decenter men from your money, that you should be creating your own soft life. And this beautiful young lady has created her own soft life. So when that man comes, she has the finances to be able to do the things that she needs to do. She's not looking for him to fund her life, but the men that are attracted to her want to take care of her. Listen, when I tell you that some of these Hill Squad members be coming to the coaching session and they be having men's in their back pocket, I'm like, what is you here for? What is you here for? Right? Let me tell you, and let me address, because I feel it. I feel the resistance. Let me address this. There is a man who wants to take care of you. You are not going to have to perform for his love. If you got to jump through hoops for love, if he asks you what you bring to the table, that is not your man. And there are enough men out there. You got to move from that scarcity mindset, and you have to understand that there are enough men out there. And there's one who wants to take care of you. He's going to see you and he's going to want to take care of you. We also talked about this. Sorry, y'all. Another nugget. She was talking about her dating history of dating a man and he was just receiving for her. She was like, I can't understand why he didn't see how I was tired. And I'm saying this, and I say this out of love. The reason why many times our men can't see that we're tired is because they watch their mom engage in the same behavior. They watch their mom work 40, 60 hours a week, come home and cook every day and still perform sexually for that man and not complain. They watched her do that. And so now he's looking for you to do the same thing. And he's confused as to why you complaining when his mama did the same thing, because his mama never said, baby, this is not how it's supposed to be. I'm tired. But meanwhile, mama told his sisters. And grandma told us, oh, okay. Grandma and mama told us a whole lot. And that's why we are having these conversations. And that's why men are like, what is going on? Why is it that women aren't like our grandmothers and aren't like our mothers? Because they were tired. And the reason why you may be in a relationship with a man and he seems to be oblivious to you being tired and you're giving. I see somebody is like, girl, I want him to marry me. Why won't he marry me? I'm doing all this because his mother did it. And he's been desensitized, and you're talking and he doesn't understand because his mama did it. And I mean that in no disrespect. And if you are a mom and you're guilty of it, listen, you need to have a conversation with your son. Hey, you saw me. Listen, I'm telling you this, as a single mom, I've told my son many times, baby, how you see me functioning right now is out of order. I wasn't created to function like this, but because I'm a single mother, I'm doing it right now. All right, let's talk about why we become ladies of labor. I'm gonna get out your way. I don't mean to, if I'm stepping on your toes, I don't mean to. I'm telling you everything in love, okay? Because I want every woman to be have that soft life, be a lady of leisure, okay? And something that bothers me is that I see other women have it and there's no pushback. But when we want to embrace it, when we want the soft life, it's like, why you deserve that? Okay. So why do many of us fall into the trap of being a lady of labor? Because we were parentified daughters, taught to earn love through over responsibility. Guilty. I started cooking at the age of 6 on a gas stove in Würzburg, Germany. Sure did. Parentified, 10 years older than my brother. I'm 20 years older than one and 22 years older than my other brother. I got 3 brothers. There's 4 of us and I'm the oldest. When you are the parentified daughter, you become the second wife. You run the household. You take care of the children while your mom works and your father works. You make sure that they have all of the things that they need. You become responsible for them. So then in life, you show up as very responsible. Now, as a parentified daughter, imagine the type of men that you are attracting. You're not attracting men who want to come in your life and take care of you and take things off of your plate. No, that's not who you're attracting. You're attracting men who want mommies. I'm gonna move on. Again, point number 2, we watched our mothers overgive and normalize emotional self-neglect. And sometimes normalize physical neglect. So mama didn't get her hair done. She didn't get her nails done. She took pride in not having the best clothes, but making sure her children did. She overgave. She engaged in self-sacrifice. And so here you are showing up to a relationship brand new and you trying to be the lamb that was slain. Jesus was that, not you, boo. And don't you ever realize, or don't you find it strange that men are not taught to sacrifice in relationships? But you show up like feeling like you got to sacrifice to make it work. We believe being the good woman would lead to commitment. I got to show him that I'm a good woman. I'm going to cook for him. I'm going to clean for him. I'm going to be better than the other woman that he's talked about. All the things that she didn't do, I'm going to do. He telling you about his exes and they be really becoming your competition and you trying to show up a certain way. We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. Let's be honest, patriarchy has taught women to be chosen. That in order to be chosen, you got to be useful. And so that's why there's so many men who will ask you, well, what do you bring to the table? He's trying to degrade you. He wants you to perform. He wants you to be able to articulate. And even if you try, he's going to pick it apart. And I always talk to you about mutual selection. No, baby, you're not choosing me. We're choosing each other. We got to make sure that we align. Because I'm the CEO of my love life. I choose who's going to be my head and who I'm going to submit to. It's not I like who likes me. It's I like who I like. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you, right? And also that you had to be accommodating, sacrificial, and low maintenance. Am I asking for too much in this relationship? Maybe I'm asking for too much. No, you're not asking for too much. Something I taught her to do and I've talked to two coaching clients about this week. I told them that you need to create policies for your dating. Don't create a list of what the man or who the man is. No, create policies for your dating. So that way you have already identified your expectations. So when he comes in, you're able to teach him what it is that you expect. Now, I know many women are like, I'm not going to teach a man how to treat me. I'm not going to do that because he going to play me. Listen, if a man want to play you, he going to play you whether you teach him how to play you or not. Everything in the world comes with a manual, and you are the manual for you. Okay? So create policies, the SOPs, right? Create those. This is how I want him to treat him. This is how I'm going to show up. You need to know you so that you can know what type of man you're compatible with. You're not compatible with everybody, babe. Also, another thing, another nugget, everybody is not, well, let me say it this way. Relationships are not monoliths. So you may not want a traditional relationship with traditional gender roles. You may want a more of an egalitarian relationship. You need to know that and to be able to articulate that when you're teaching him how to treat you. I'm going to do a video on that because y'all need to teach these men how to treat you respectfully. All right. So let's talk about the power shifting. Let's talk about moving from the lady of labor to the lady of leisure, because let's be for real. It's so, we as women, we want to please. We want to please our man. But you need to be mindful. You get to decide the things that you will do for him and not do for him. All right. So here's the truth. What you attract through labor, you will have to maintain through labor. So if you cooking and cleaning and sucking and ducking, you're going to have to keep that up. You're going to have to keep that up. Versus if you're just resting and receiving, that's a very different posture. Do you think Marjorie Harvey is doing all of the stuff that many women are doing? No. And Mr. Harvey is crazy about her. There are women out there who are having dating experiences out of this world. Why? Because they are receiving, right? But what you attract through rest, radiance, and self-worth, that will be sustainable. He will view you and see you differently. Shifting into being a lady of leisure is not about being passive. It's about receiving with discernment. One of the Heal Squad members wants me to do a series on that, and I will. It's about judging the man, judging what man is and how he will show up. Is he showing up to take things off of my plate, or is he showing up to put more on me? Is he trying to be a burden to me, or is he trying to give me a life of ease? Is he the type of husband that comes home and tells the kids, hey, leave your mama alone, go find something to do so she can have a break? And he says, baby, go take a seat. I'm going to take over from now. Or does he walk in, he get in the shower, he kick off his shoes, and then he go sit in front of the TV while the children are running around? You've worked, you cooking, you cleaning, you try to maintain them. And then when you go to bed, he wants some. Oops. It's about knowing that your softness is sacred, not a weakness. And as Black women, our softness has been something that we've had to fight for. It's about refusing to pour into cups that never pour back. When you walk in the energy of ease and expectancy, you teach men how to love you. Not through over-explaining, but through standards, embodiment, and boundaries. Often women in those relationships where they are women of labor, they have to ask and ask and ask. You're begging, you're pleading for him to show up a certain way. You feel like you have to explain why you need the things that you need, versus him just knowing, this is how I treat her. This is how she expects to be treated. These are her boundaries. These are the things she'll do and she won't do. He knows, oh, it's how we were talking and I was like, a lady of leisure, her man knows, if she's not this type of woman, that she don't want to sit outside at the 4th of July. It's hot outside. She would be in the air conditioning. So when the family has a cookout, he's not going to ask her, because he'd be like, baby, the family has a cookout. I'm going to go to the cookout and I'll bring you a plate because I know you don't want to sit outside and sweat. And she's like, thank you so much, baby. I appreciate that. He takes joy in her pleasure and her comfort. He takes joy in her pleasure and her comfort. He wants her to be comfortable. He wants to create situations in which there is pleasure for her, whether it's buying her flowers or sending her perfume or writing her love notes. That does something for him. He doesn't sit back and watch her struggle. So, Which one are you right now? I want to hear from you. I want to hear, are you a lady of labor or are you a lady of leisure down below in the comments? Now, if you are a lady of labor and you want to switch to a lady of leisure, you need to get on my coaching schedule, okay? Because we have a ball. And more importantly, right? Especially if you are a lady of labor, do you want to be a lady of leisure? And do you have maybe some limiting beliefs about if that's a possibility for you? A lady of leisure starts first with herself before she ever gets into a relationship. So there may be some things in some areas that you need help with and assistance with, and I'm here for you. All right. So this is Heal the New Sexy. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I love hearing from you. I love reading your comments. I try to read every one of your comments and respond to you. Again, I'm sorry that the fire alarm went off. Okay, the video was too good to me to re-record though. It was too good. Okay, so if you're ready to rest in your worth and stop overworking for love, leave a heart in the comments, okay? But also get on my calendar. So I love you so much. Until we talk again. Bye-bye.